morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. First of all, our hearts go out to residents of I think it is the Tower Block is called in the west of London. That fire is raging, and many Nigerians who are in the UK have been marking themselves safe on Facebook. We just hope as many as possible can be saved. No doubt news will continue to unfold throughout the day. On to local affairs, if you want. I guess corruption comes into focus. It's all about a charge. Now we're talking about OPL 245. Just saying those numbers to many people, they understand that it's an oil block. It's not just an oil block. OPL 245 is regarded as one of the richest oil blocks in Africa. Now, this oil block is going to be at the center of what we're going to be talking about today. By way of a quick resume, it was initially awarded to Malabu Oil and Gas Limited in 1998 in the regime of General Sani Abacha in what has been described as something of an untidy process, to put it discreetly. It included, the charge is that oil block was secured through fraudulent schemes involving high-scale corruption between the executives of the company and high officials of government. Now, Mohammed Adoke, SAN, was the Attorney General in the immediate past regime, and he executed it, but he's wanted by the police. In fact, the authorities, government's lawyer has said that they are intensifying efforts to arrest and extradite Mr. Mohammed Adoke to Nigeria to come and answer charges. He has said he has nothing whatsoever to do with it, apart from being a lawyer, being the Attorney General. The whole matter was situated in the Ministry of Justice. And so what he did was to simply execute, how do lawyers put it now, the resolution that had been concluded back in the Obasanjo administration. You get all of that? Okay, right up to here. So now we're up to speed, and the lawyers that will take it home, as it were, I got a couple of them here. As always, our brother Malaki Ugumadu. Yes. I just wanted to add SAN, but I had to clip my tongue. Malaki Ugumadu, National President, CDHR. Thank you very much for coming on.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.
And Mr. Ola Daniel, he's a public affairs analyst as well as a lawyer. Thank you very much for coming on. So, this is the way of the law. Mohammed Adoke, SAN, Attorney General in the immediate past regime, has said he has nothing whatsoever to do with this. Not only that, the current Attorney General should kindly speak up and explain all of this. But the authorities say, we need you to come and answer charges here. Opportunities in the past, he hasn't responded to. I don't even know that they know where to write to. But because he's been out of the country ever since he left office. So now this is what we have. How easy a job? It's good to know that the authorities are still, KIVing all of these matters. But how easy a job is it to get Mr. Adoke to come and explain himself and the work of his ministry?
Not that easy.
That's a problem.
Because at the moment, part of the confusion is that the actual whereabouts of the former Attorney General is largely uncertain, or they are leads. You can only be talking of extradition if the possibilities of the whereabouts of the fugitive is known. And secondly, if they exist between the countries from which you want to extradite and the receiving country, an extradition agreement. In the absence of those two, you keep hoping against hope, believing that the law enforcement agencies, albeit Interpol, will do extraordinary things to be able to uncover. But the whereabouts of an Attorney General of a former Attorney General of a country like Nigeria cannot be too much of a secret. Now, I concede.
Depending on how deeply he has gone underground, if indeed that is the case at all.
Let's leave that.
Yes, because they say it's very difficult to find someone who doesn't want to be found.
Correct, because as you made your intro, I also saw a missing link there. Okay. In my own assessment of the trajectory, I had understood that at a point, he volunteered to come back.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, he didn't make good on that.
He didn't. Now he's firing into the air, or into the moon, as they put it, regarding what are his possible defense. A former Attorney General of a country, a silk, should know better. Once the allegations are there, once charges are filed, and that is the situation now, the best is to put up a defense.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you, but to hear from Ola on this, as Malaki just said, he should have known better, and he means, of course, that the man is not just a lawyer, he's a senior lawyer, and he knows how these things work. It's worrying that Mr. Adoke has not, in spite of, as Malaki has pointed out, committing himself to come to present himself. He hasn't been able to do so, and this is a problem. What's he, if indeed that is the situation, what's he afraid of? The legal system, the justice system that he himself is aware of. He was the top lawyer at one time. So it's a bit worrisome. If he doesn't have anything to hide, why isn't he coming and explaining himself?
Well, I would say it's sudden, and to cry it up, some of us are a bit disappointed in some of the statement, accrued to the former Attorney General. You send a letter to the acting president informing him that, sorry, you can't come. Why? Because you are not safe. 2, your political enemies are after you. 3, the society we are in, the Nigeria we are in, doesn't have room for proper rule of law and processes. But this is
coming from an
Attorney General.
A former Attorney General.
But the immediate past.
In fact, the immediate past.
So what was it doing during his term?
Meaning we're dealing with the situations you people created.
Yes.
But that's,
Meaning he was doing that, probably what he was doing, now he's afraid to come and face that.
You see, this is one of the problems about the law and the law and the administration of justice in this country. If a man at the pinnacle of the profession is now expressing misgivings with the very profession,
it is the case. It is the case of those who pretend they are our affairs and refuse to build good prison facilities. They will find themselves.
If just an average Nigerian, just an average citizen of Nigeria is saying this, maybe we will say, oh yes, some people. But at your own office,
it's scary to the ordinary Nigerians. You see now, even a former Attorney General doesn't trust the justice system. Because if he has nothing to hide, and I guess that's the caveat.
Thank you.
If he has nothing to hide.
Unfortunately, like he said, the processes are... Malaki, sorry. Thank you, sir. As he said, the processes are just numerous. They are not just that easy.
Maybe you guys can help us a bit here. Because when the federal government, through its lawyer, says in court, when it was asking for an adjournment till October on this whole matter, which has been granted, by the way, it said government was intensifying efforts to arrest and repatriate. What is intensifying efforts? Interpol is there. You just ring them up and say, this man is on our list. Can you help us out?
No, it doesn't come that easy, sir. Well, my take on the use of that word intensify is to acknowledge that it presupposes that something is already on. You can only intensify
what has begun.
What has begun. Now, and that's cherry. That's a good news. Like you did say in your intro, the fact that we're still keeping an eye on some of these goes to show that we will not gloss over some of these major signposts of corrupt activities in the country. Secondly, you need, like I said earlier, the existence of the bilateral extradition treaties between the countries to which the fugitive has run to or seeks refuge and the country intending to receive.
So you have to first of all establish where
that
exactly
must be there.
he is.
If it doesn't, you run yourself into some hitches.
You have to even establish his identity.
Now, beyond that is that his whereabouts, the certainty of his whereabouts must also be known. Otherwise, you cannot even kickstart it. Intensifying could be that the processes of ascertaining the actual place is on. But if he had earlier written, I imagine that there would be an address from which he wrote such a formal letter to an existing or a sitting president. Now, it is the office of the Attorney General, in conjunction with the immigration, as well as the Interpol that we talk about, having obtained the necessary permissions that kickstart extradition processes. Now, it will also depend on the peculiarity of the extradition treaty that you have with that country to which the fugitive has run to be able to explain the processes it will take. But by and large, usually the agreement seeks to secure the cooperation of other countries to assist in such prosecution.
You appeal to them. Okay, I believe Femi in Surulere. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Are you there, Femi? Surulere.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead with your comment.
Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Please go ahead with your comment.
Can I make my comment now? Yeah. What I want to say is this, is that Obasanjo is the #1 culprit in this particular issue. Because this thing happened in his time. This particular oil block was awarded to somebody who is serving as a public servant, which should not be an issue. And they even rob salt on injury by coming back to somebody who is a thief, because you are a civil servant. So this issue should have been tackled by Obasanjo. He knew quite right that John Etech was a minister. How can you award another company? All these people were civil servants. And at the end of the day, Obasanjo left their things lying low there for the next administration. Obasanjo should be called to account on those issues, because he knew quite well that those oil blocks are awarded to civil servants. That's my take. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
It's a very valid point.
Well, Ola, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah. Well, he made a valid point. Very, very valid one. However,
that the nation's chief executive at the time,
yes,
should be called to.
He should. He said no one is above the law. No one. And I'm very, very sure.
But okay, you can't call General Sani Abacha of blessed memory now.
Okay,
but that's where it started from.
Thank you.
You remember?
Yes.
That's where the whole thing started from. And this is a long-running story, yes, from 1998.
Yes, if you can't call the dead,
yes,
what about the ones that are alive?
Well, the thing rolled, they say government is a continuum. So the thing rolled into Obasanjo's tenure.
Yes.
Where
to Yaradua, to Jonathan,
where the former Attorney General is claiming that all I did was just execute the resolution that was completed in the
Mr.
previous
Yori,
regime.
There's an allegation of you diverting money,
that's right,
to a personal account.
That's right.
Why don't you just come and answer?
Clear that aspect.
How
so
that happened.
Don't come and tell us, oh yes, it was Abacha, it was Obasanjo. The allegation made against you as the Attorney General, as at the time.
It's so different, but it's probably like when we found so many tens or hundreds of millions of dollars in a flat in Ikoyi somewhere,
yes,
and they're explaining it away now. Now you are saying, come and explain why this money was lodged in a private account. These are indeed things that Nigerians need to know. But as you said, it's heartwarming that at least we're keeping these things very much in view. Reverend Dominic, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Yori. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Barrister, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There's one question. I want to make it as a question because this is a legal issue. Can't we try this man on absential Then he had run away. Running away showed maybe that atom of duty. Wanted to try him and also try people who is within us here. There's no way such money will pass hand without the president of the nation. Remember, since 1999 to date, the ministers of petroleum, our president, Obasanjo did that. Jonathan also did his own part. Yar'Adua also part of the minister. How do you leave the minister of the petroleum and you are not chasing that what I would call an errand boy? To me, the man is an errand boy. Let me make this statement. Last week, there's a comment against your student make, which is so injurious. He said most of us who come from home are jobless. And I take exception to that word. I know it's not a question of TVC. One of their guests last week said those of us that come from home are jobless. To come from home takes you money.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember I said that there's going to be a blowback, that he had no business speaking like that. Remember?
You said, look what called me. That's so injurious. The man that called you from Agency called from internet. He used GSTV. I use GSTV. I'm using phone for 2 years in my house here. Everybody that called in this election has nation at heart. It's a serious business. A million people are calling today. About 2-3 people will pass through. You pay bills. That statement is not too good. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for bringing that up. Yep, that statement was made, unfortunately, in a program here, and we'll come on it that people have TVs, satellite in their offices, for goodness sake. Yeah. People can be at work and you know, keep abreast of what's going on. Yeah. But thank you very much, Reverend Dominic. Now, he brings up the idea of trial in absentia. What are the complications of that? Because it seems like a viable option to an unlearned mind, as you lawyers would put it. Try the man. If he's free, okay, continue to enjoy your life. If he's found guilty, then, but what are the difficulties, challenges of trying in absentia?
Mr. Sofamari, this matter is actually in court. By December 2016, the 8 count charges were already there in court. Now, that is inclusive of Mr. Aduke and every other one, the ETT and the rest of them. They are in court already. So it's not as if the matter is being tried in absentia. Though the last sitting, well, the judge came and probably went on leave, and no date has been, you know, specified for the next date for the for this particular case. So, but it is going on, and don't forget that because the matter is going on absentia, you can, even when you are tried and you are even convicted. If you remember vividly, Ibori's case was convicted, and Nigeria even tried to bring him to come and serve his jail time. But what did the UK do? They refused. So don't even forget, even when you even finish the extradition thing, the application and all that, you even send to the country involved, doesn't mean that they're going to grant it. And I'm reminded that even in Nigeria here, is it Senator Kashamu? You know, Kashamu. You know, we're still on it. We're still on it. He's still in the country. Yeah. So apparently, it's not easy. This is a $1.3 billion fraud we're allegedly we're hearing about. So there's a sense in which let's put it this way. Sure. You can trial in absentia, but what is the, why is it desperation? I'm sorry, I'm holding someone up. Please forgive me, Mr. Yakub. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Shifari, good morning.
Please go ahead.
And God bless you, Shifari. And good morning, Mr. Malak and the other gentleman.
Good morning. Good morning.
Shifari, in fact, I'm very, very happy that I finally got in this morning. Very, very good. Reverend Dominic has done the justice to what is in my mind. This is only station that gives us opportunity to experience our feelings. As far as I'm concerned, somebody like me, I give my time every day before I go out to watch this program. Then, now, somebody like George from Ikeja, Reverend Dominic from Ikotu, and other places that from Ikoyi, Mr. Hassan can never say such. See, Shifjori, we need apology from the old man that come that very particular day, because we are the fans of TVC. We leave our job. We are not jobless. We have our various work. So after saying that, let me go back to the business. Shifjori, You see, this country, we will keep it going the way we are going. In fact, if this very particular issue, they are not extradite that very particular from where he ran to, we will not go anywhere. They need to do that, and the EFCC should be able to do thorough job before they can be able to go and extradite the man. But if they don't do that, they will still go back to fail in the court. They should be able to go through very thorough before they extradite the man, so that they will not fail when they get to court.
Indeed.
Thank God bless you.
Thank you very much. And we have learned through experience that we have to be very, very careful how you go about these investigations. Correct. So that it doesn't get thrown out in court for some error in procedure.
Even as we discuss, we need also to be circumspect, because the matter is already sub judice. Yes. As lawyers, we are admonished to be able to respect that. Now, but what are the issues? If the EFCC, as we have been told, are making conscientious efforts to extradite this man, what it tells you is the vitality, the importance of his presence at trial. Technically, when does trial start? It starts with arraignment. What is arraignment? Arraignment is when you are called into the dock, the charges read to you, you are asked whether or not you understand those charges, and then you are asked to plea to those charges. That is arraignment. All of what I've said.
So if we can't get to that stage,
yes,
you can't really technically say the trial has started in earnest.
Trial starts with arraignment. In short, you must arraign. If you don't arraign, in short, in the process of arraignment, if you don't observe all that I have said, including, do you understand the charges against you? Or do you need an interpreter to that?
There's potential
and the standards are high.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Ayodeji calling in from Ikeja. Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yari, good morning.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Quite a long time, and good morning to the two gentlemen here.
Good morning.
Yes, I don't have much to say on what you are discussing this morning.
Then why did you call?
Yes, I'm calling to tell you that we deceive ourselves a lot in this country. Nothing is going to come out of that court process, investigation, or whatever. This involves high-level power brokers, and I can bet you nothing is going to come out of it. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ayodeji. What Mr. Ayodeji has done there is introduce a not unknown skepticism of the generality of Nigerians when it comes to matters of due process and doing the right thing, and especially, as we pointed out, $1.3 billion is involved. Naturally.
Mr. Yori, before Mr. continues, let me just address this. I think Nigerian, it is time we start believing in ourselves, in our nation. You see, don't let us always believe that nothing can come out from anything that we are doing.
Beautiful admonition, but you understand where it is coming from.
I sympathize with him. Yes,
well, it's not so much with him as it's a reality. Unfortunately, in the past, justice often goes to the highest
but
bidder.
Do you know that
and when we're talking in the 1.3 billion naira range, you know all sorts of...
Mr. Yori, do you know that this is the response the people we are talking about expect from us as Nigerians, and when they get this response, they know what we will say. So nobody is doing anything because they know that Nigerians will say nothing will come out of it. So don't mind them. They are just noise makers.
But that's where this administration is different.
Thank you.
It's like this administration is saying, I hear that, I've heard that, we've been hearing that all our life, but it's different now. And they seem to be proving it. Ibrahim is on the line. Good morning, sir. We just lost him there.
It's interesting. This program started with cause from the beginning, so we need to be smart and sharp.
Yes.
Now, and in doing that, I would say, well, the skepticism he has, I found it. But they shouldn't be dragged to the point where you become a nihilist.
They immobilize us.
Otherwise, there is the essence of existence too will come to an end. Why are we here? It is to incrementally improve and nudge towards perfecting our deeds and actions. Having said that, what are the issues? It is that there is a conflict of interest in the sense that an oil block was given to a serving minister. That is conflict of interest. The code of conduct to which he subscribed.
That is talking about Dan Etiti.
Yes, to which he subscribed as a minister
Was breached.
Was completely breached. And as we speak, those who took over, you know, the entire affairs as government changed after government, also got their fingers burnt in the process. Therefore, instead of saying nothing will happen, the fact that a government, albeit a law enforcement agency of the government, has not looked the other way, but continually to interrogate what has happened, should elicit the kind of confidence that necessarily can change the narrative in your mind. To say, it used to be nothing will happen. But wait a minute, couldn't this government have gone with other cases? Why is it so important that they are revisiting it? At that point, Nigerians should reinvest.
After all, it's a 1998
what you call
origin.
Well, the good news is that there is no time limit for criminal trial.
Exactly. Yes. I got to take a quick break now. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, please. Welcome back. We're looking at the whole Malabu oil scam as it has been presented to us in a charge. OPL 245 is the subject matter. This, regarded as the richest block, was awarded to a serving minister at the time back in 1998 in the Abacha regime. And since then, there's been a lot of financial water under the bridge, perhaps. And so here we are. The good thing, I think, as Malaki has pointed out, is that the government is not looking the other way. There's so many things to be done, and if they wanted to be lazy about it, they could look away, say it's a 1998 case. Like, can we focus on more recent cases? So when Mr. Ayodeji called in to say that nothing is going to happen, it's like Malaki was addressing that skepticism. Say, we've got to cut off somewhere. We've got to cut off somewhere and say, look, we know it's been this way, but efforts are showing that it shouldn't be, it's not going to be business as usual. At least in that respect, government is, coming across on that one, right? Because, by the way, the matter has been adjourned till October 26th.
That is after vacation.
Yes.
Now,
hopefully they'll be able to get Mr. Adoke.
Let's look at it this way. Because the government just came out to say they're intensifying actions in bringing, in extraditing,
in arresting
Adoke. Now, EFCC, the last time we checked, the Attorney General said he has not received even the name of the accused or whoever they want to extradite. He has not even accepted the fact that they've received the name. Now, they say we hear on papers, yes, the noise everywhere, but officially nothing is on my table. And I will not just, because like the processes, he will have to even talk to the magistrate who will issue the warrant of arrest, then will now have to be forwarded to the country. Then either we go by diplomatic treaties, or now, even if we do the Interpol, yes, Interpol could look for him. Yes, we'll talk to Interpol. They will look. They'll search everywhere because, one, we don't even know where he is at the moment. The last time they said was at Netherlands. The other time he was in France. But we don't, right now, we don't even know. Italy, yeah. No, we don't know. So Interpol, EFC needs to even work with Interpol to even do that for them in the first place. Then when you now know his whereabouts, when you know his identity and you know where he is, then you come back to us. Then EFCC should what? Follow due process.
Those are the efforts being intensified
but
now.
That has not been done. All these things.
You can't say so now. If they say they're intensifying, if government lawyer
disclose,
they can't. You have to accept.
Of course, they won't. We know they will not disclose everything. But then we are saying this.
You yourself saying that of Mr. Ayodeji that we have to come out of that mindset.
No. What I'm saying is not about the mindset. No. I'm not saying they are not doing anything. I am saying Since they've told us they are intensifying...
Can't we trust that they indeed are intensifying
Okay, I want
efforts?
to go by that.
Yes.
And are leaving no stone unturned.
Well,
and so they're advising us about it. In effect,
go,
EFCC is saying, in effect, be expectant, Nigerians.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, in effect. Mr. George, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Uncle Yori, this is another jobless Nigerian calling.
That was Lai Mohammed, right?
So I don't blame them, Uncle Yori. You know, this is the way our leaders hold us in contempt and with disdain. They feel that they can put 500 naira inside a loaf of bread when elections come, and as soon as they give 5,000 naira to those who are able to go to secondary school, everything, the game is accomplished. That is why when they are in leadership or they are making laws or, executing the laws, they do it with reckless abandon because they don't owe us any responsibility. I want to encourage those who have the interest of this country not to be discouraged by that attitude by our elders and leaders. Uncle Yori, somebody who has no job that was able to borrow money, maybe borrowed 100 naira to buy airtime, to call and voice his views about how to move this country forward. And the one who is busy looting our central bank to, pack it inside private homes to take away, who is more patriotic? That's by the way.
Indeed. I think it was a mistake.
This case, I am reliably informed that because of this particular case, that was why 3 generals were meeting in Minna with a view to discredit and disband this government. You know that this case is an international one.
Yes.
It's not restricted to Nigeria.
Yes.
In other countries where this particular issue has been, Malabu will know about it. Such countries have handled it effectively, and our own leaders here do not want it to happen. We shall see what the end will be. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If I'm allowed to take it off from where Mr. George takes a great deal, there's a need to rekindle the hope of the Nigerian people. Just yesterday, I came back from Akure, where Mr. Falan at GTR 9 had the privilege of addressing addressing the congregation there regarding the lessons of June 12. You see, we've had golden opportunities in this country to turn around the fortunes of this country and blew them up. June 12 was one of such. Now, the amount in question is not such that a government should even be allowed to gloss over. And since the debate about comments from state actors are now before us, it is by far more important to revisit the question of participatory democracy.
Okay.
To what extent can a government go if it is completely alienated from the people that are governed? It will be a very short-lived government. And therefore, media homes such as this, and thanks to TVC, are alive to their responsibility under Section 22 of the Constitution that empowers them to hold government accountable to the people, providing the platform on the basis of which the people can intervene and express themselves cannot be discountenanced.
Indeed. One moment, please. Mr. Okoroafo, Mazi Okoroafo.
That's another
in
regular
Arochukwu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sayori. Good morning, Sayori. Good morning, our guests in this
Good morning.
You see, my problem or my own observation with the EFCC is that they rush into cases. To me, they should settle down and investigate this case, not to crash in and crash out. Look at the issue that what our guests are listening from Abacha or Passanjo's regime. Now, if you look at the years where something has been going on, some documents must have been maybe missing or they have, because if you don't have proof, certain documents on this issue will end up just advertising this case. At the end of the day, who is missing? It's EFCC. So EFCC should settle down and look what is happening, because this issue we have to take it because it involves a lot of government, not only one government or two governments, up to 3 regimes or 2 regimes. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos. God bless all this work.
Indeed. Thank you very much. As I was saying, Ola, one thing you could probably take away from this story, coming back to the front burner, so to speak, is that EFCC seems to be saying you can be hopeful that we're going to dig up and investigate all those things that have gone in the past, what the ordinary Nigerian might consider as quote-unquote cheating, alleged cheating of my Commonwealth. It's like getting to the bottom of it to see if indeed there is a case there. And I don't know, it's remarkable that they're going back to 1998, to a 1998 issue when sloppiness could have giving them an alibi that we're too busy, we're overwhelmed, and there's so many pressing cases. So there's a sense in which we can be hopeful that, look, you started this thing, you didn't have to, because we wouldn't have been any the wiser. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or just a handful of people would have known, but that's not the same as the government speaking through its lawyer in court, saying that we're not letting go of this matter.
Yes. I want to say that I am impressed with the government. And why did I say that?
I'm sorry. Can I, forgive me for interrupting you. Let me take Abe from Johannesburg, and then I'll come straight back to you. Good morning, Abe.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, I just give me 1 minute to give my explanation. Good morning, Mr. Malaki.
Good morning.
I like your objectivity when you are making comments on TV. God bless you, sir, and the other gentleman.
Thank you, Mr. Abe.
But listen, Uncle Yori, first and foremost, the senator you brought in last week, who said some of us who are calling from home are jobless, I think you need to write a letter of apology to both.
No, that wasn't a senator. But I understand.
And the viewers, because I'm talking to you, I have the DSTV both in my house and in my office. And I'm talking from my office in Johannesburg.
Okay.
That is by the way.
Noted.
The issue of the Malabu oil, sir, permit me to say this. I really don't see anything seriously going to come out of it, because in a situation we have individuals who are more powerful than institutions in a country, such country, it is only God who can bring in positive response to our cry. If you look at this case, is just as a case of Panama Papers. We all know that what happened with Panama, the countries that are involved, they punish their citizens. But what happened in Nigeria, according to the Nigeria citizens, nothing has happened to them. So this is not a new case, and I don't really see anything new going to come out of it, because the people who are behind this are very powerful Nigerians, and I believe they are powerful more than the Nigerians ourselves. God bless you. And what I'm saying, Lagos.
Thank you very much. Maybe you'd like to mop this up
yes,
this comment.
I will take it up from there, and I will say yes, in as much as I sympathize with Nigerians in this school of thought. At the same time, we must look at it this way. For a long time in this country, I doubt if we've had this far. Now people bringing out cases as far back as 1998. To say, okay, we want to look at this and we want to try. The usual practice we have is every government that comes, they just start from whatever they meet, and they move on like that. Nothing is done about whatever that has happened in the past. But now, if a government is standing today to say, okay, we want to see to the end of this, I think we should give them a chance.
Yes, especially because, as was pointed out there, this case, when you have this kind of case, this oil, billions of dollars, it's going to transcend jurisdictions. There are people in other jurisdictions that have been convicted on this whole matter. That Nigeria is,
even
as
in
it were,
I think the Italian, they had already convicted the people involved in this matter.
Mr. Adekunle is in London. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Good morning, Mr. Daniel and Mr. Malaki.
Good morning.
May God will continue to preserve you for us in this country.
Thank you.
In that country. I really appreciate you guys. But I want to say something. Having hope in Nigeria, there is not any government is going to preach that to me, because it is my input for me to have a hope. But if government wants me to believe him or her, he doesn't have to be preaching. He have to do it as I will believe. If God said I should believe in him that is existing, He has created the heaven, and we can see the sky. He has created the land. We can see the water, ocean, that shows that we can truly believe him that he's existing somewhere, but we can't see him. The Nigerian government cannot be coming out all the time and say we should believe in them. We should have hope. Don't preach hope to me. Don't preach belief to me. Do it. Let me see it. This Malabu issue, if we are going to see anything in it, the one at our hands at home, let's see the result. It is then I will know that you have in place a good system that can bring people into the justice, and justice can be seen to be done. Not that to come and be telling us, this thing is done. I wonder sometimes if they say our security personnel always come to abroad to come and be trained, and they get home, they do something different. I don't understand what they are here for when they came here to come and train. What is the problem when they get back home that they cannot implement what they are here to come what they learn here to implement it back home? What is the problem?
Mr. Adikule, thank you very much for calling in. But this time around, government hasn't said anything like we believe in us. It is we that are saying these actions. You know, we're
being consequential.
Yes. You know, these are the actions that are encouraging.
Yes.
That government hasn't put out any homily about please believe in us and all of that. But the actions that are being taken, which very much like what you said, that show me some action. The actions that are being taken are leading commentators to say that maybe there's hope after all.
Yes, thank you. I think I will add to that because we can see what has happened so far. Now, they're talking to Interpol. AG is working.
Ibrahim got back on the line from Kaduna. I'm sorry about that. Sorry. I'll come back to you. Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim in Kaduna.
Good morning. Hello.
We're waiting for you. Good morning. Please go ahead. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good morning. This is Ibrahim from Kaduna.
Okay, go right ahead, please.
I just want to thank these guys, this program. They're wonderful.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
The little I want to contribute, what I want to say is this. The case, we know this country, if it is a low person that is involved, the person will be in jail by now. If it is a low man, somebody that stole gold from the market, by now he's in jail. But nothing will come out of this case. But I want to assure us, we have hope in this nation, and nobody can take that from us. There's there's a prayer that I've been praying of late. Anybody, no matter how highly placed, that is going to be a stumbling block to the will or the progress of this nation, that person and his generation, we ask God to send down his fire to consume them.
Yeah, but Mr. Ibrahim, aren't you contradicting yourself a bit when you say we have hope in this nation, but you said before that time that nothing is going to come of this?
Bring us to take out our destination.
You've got to make up your mind. You say we have hope in this nation, yet you say nothing will come of this.
Okay, sorry.
Sure.
Can I help to break it down, what he just said? Okay, I'm going to use this scenario of EFCC trying and convicting over 263 thereabout cases, completed cases, within 2 years. Now, within some month, or well, let's say a year or 2 years also, there are some high-profile cases that have been on trial forever, and we've not seen the end of those cases. He may be coming from that angle to say, okay, if he's a poor man now, you'd have finished. And that's the reason why he's saying nothing will come out. At the same time, he's saying he has hope in the nation. I think, I'm hopeful. And talking about whatever Nigerian is looking at and thinking about the whole route in which this whole process is going through, I think we should give this government a chance. Because why? They are taking steps. They are not. It's not a government that is not taking steps that we can say, oh, yes, nothing is going to come out. But we are seeing steps. We are seeing things being done.
So that even if we don't, as you said, even if we don't give this government a chance, the government has its resolve. And as one gentleman said in there, I think it is last caller, the guy who, I think it was Mr. Adikule from the UK, show me the results Yes. And everything will fall into place.
Before result, process must
but even if we don't, because of the way we are, we're exasperated, we don't cut them any slack, let them continue and indeed deliver a conclusive result is what Nigerians seem to be asking. And the point is very good that has been made that how about all the high-profile guys that are walking free? But if it's some hapless, Franco Lise common man, the guy will be behind bars from now. Well, so there's that to contend with.
Well, we've heard of Ngilari.
Mr. Okeke from Niger State?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Okeke.
Are you hearing me clearly, sir?
Yes, we are. Thank you.
You are doing a marvelous job there. I just want to contribute little thing. Many people have called and they will tell us, some powerful Nigerians, these people are more powerful than the country. But none of them have picked the courage to name somebody, one person, among all these people that they are saying they are more powerful than Nigerians. Is it fair? So they should call a name so that we'll understand where they are going. You are doing a marvelous job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please continue.
Now, we need to strike a balance here.
Sure.
The skepticism have grown to cynicism and almost graduating to a state of nihilist in which you don't believe in anything. And I have said that it is not unfounded. It is a response to years of disappointment. However, the fact that we have always got something wrong does not mean we can't begin to get it right.
Yes.
And it also does not mean that we can get the right result. Okay. Donald Trump is almost at the verge of biting the bullet, as far as my reading is concerned. Already 2 attorney generals have instituted court actions against him regarding his earlier avowals not to be involved in the numerous business activity that he has, which could lead to conflict of interest. This is not exactly how it has been in the States. Yet it is happening now. I drew this analogy to bring home the point that as a people, we even owe ourselves that obligation to find faith in the nation called Nigeria. It will not come as a result of the admonitions of the government. No. It will come by our desire to make it happen.
Yes.
And that is where citizen participation is very, very key. To what extent would you move from that state of cynicism to be aroused sufficiently to mobilize your resentment in adding value towards the reinvention of this country?
Yes, I hear that and I like this sentiment, but many people out there will probably be saying, so what? I think people quote the Bible and say, if something, what can the righteous do? Now, remember when Obasanjo was coming into office, I recall when he was coming to the office for the first time, civilian president, he had said in relation to this whole corruption matter, I will step on toes.
And he did.
And he did?
He did.
But this whole
even
question
if they
about
said it
people,
was selective.
But this whole question about you've always said it, commentators have always said, we have to have powerful institutions.
Correct.
Get the institutions, don't worry about the people. How well are we doing with that particular job of getting institutions that no individual can come and now say, I close that place down?
Let's also put it in context. These powerful institutions will not come in a day. It must be process-driven. It must also take time.
And it's going to evolve.
It will evolve.
It can't be an overnight thing.
Yeah. In any case, if you have powerful institutions with very weak leadership, those institutions will cease to be powerful.
There you go. That's the problem right there. We've completely run out of time, almost. But did you have, is that fine? Any bottom line that we may be wishing them luck in their quest to get hold of Mr. Adoke to present him on the 26th?
I wish them luck. Yeah, I wish them luck, and also I just.
But you're not holding your breath.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
not because I will admonish that what that is needful should be done, and more government should be more proactive.
Okay.
They should gain the trust because they are enjoying the goodwill of Nigerians. And I don't want a situation where Nigerians will answer up to say, well, we are not interested in whatever you do. We don't want it to get to that point because that one will lead us to anarchy.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Let them do the proper job, and I know we'll get there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oladaniel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malaki Ugumadu. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your perspectives. I am Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.